The Australian muscle car is dead. It is dead ever since manufacturing of the Holden V8 has been ended at Elizabeth plant in South Australia at the end of 2017. But the Australian muscle car has enjoyed a 50-year legacy, which included some interesting, standout creations. Let's explore what the engineers down under managed to serve up. (1967) Ford Falcon XR GT. This is the car that started it all. The first Aussie muscle car. While employing the Ford Mustang's 4.7-litre V8, the Falcon GT conquered Bathurst with a 1-2 win and gave police officers at the time the upper hand when chasing the bad guys, thanks to an exclusive interceptor pack. The 596 Falcon GTs were available in only one colour, Falcon Gold, and came fitted with a manual transmission. (1971) Ford Falcon GTHO Phase 3. Of all the Falcons, the GTHO Phase 3 is probably the most valuable, thanks to its very limited production run and respectable racing record. The Falcon GTHO claimed the 1971 Bathurst 500 title, and the 1973 Australian Touring Car Championship. For road users, it came equipped with a 5.7-litre Cleveland V8, supported by a whopping 134-litre fuel tank, that Ford Australia claimed would push out 224 kilowatts, but private tests showed that in some cases it delivered as much as 283 kilowatts. As a result, it was the fastest production saloon of its time with a standing quarter-mile of 14.4 seconds. (1971) Holden Monaro 350 GTS Coupe. Thanks to a 5.7-litre V8 sourced from Chevrolet, the Monaro 350 GTS was a coupe to be reckoned with. It is also since considered one of the most stylish designs to come from an Australian manufacturer. Owners at the time, however, often suffered from twisted rear axles due to the amount of torque that this engine sent to the rear wheels. It was also available in the shape of a four-door sedan. (1973) Ford Falcon XB GT. This would turn out to be the last Falcon GT the world would see for some 20 years, and it fittingly appeared in the Mad Max franchise. The Falcon XB received styling cues inspired by the Mach 1 Mustang, and was able to claim both the Australian Grand Prix and the Bathurst 1000 at the hands of John Goss. (1977) Holden Sandman. What would come to be known as the Chevrolet El Camino in some places, started as the Holden Kingswood Ute, over in Australia. The so-called Sandman moniker, however, signified that it was a panel van, that soon became somewhat of an institution for the Australia's surfing population. It came fitted with beefy V8 engine, an optional limited slip differential and some funky decals. This idea didn't last long though, as Holden was forced to pull the plug due to poor sales in 1979, mainly thanks to a hefty premium over the standard model. (1977) Holden Torana A9X. The A9X version of the Holden Torana SS, Coupe and Sedan, was a road-going example of what would be used at the Bathurst 1000. It didn't feature any upgrades to the 5-litre V8, but it did make use of rear disc brakes, heavy-duty axles and a 10-bolt differential. The Torana fell victim to the Falcon at Bathurst, but it did see success on the Group C touring car scene, where it was able to win the Hang 10 400 with Peter Brock behind the wheel. A more refined model would eventually score back-to-back wins at the 78 and 79 editions of the Bathurst 1000. '88 Holden Commodore SS Group A, SV. This was the car that started the Holden Special Vehicles movement. It was a homologated version of the racing car that competed in the Australian Touring Car Championship. It took part in international tournaments as well, such as the BTCC, but didn't see much success due to the dominant Ford Sierra RS 500 and Nissan Skyline GTS-R. Things started to turn around after months of development from HSV in 1990, when it conquered the Tooheys 1000 and the Nissan Sydney 500. The road-going version, limited to 500 units, came fitted with a Walkinshaw body kit that apparently improved aerodynamics by more than 25%. The 5-litre V8 delivered an underwhelming 180 kilowatts, but owners found that by removing the restrictor plates, this power output could be improved by about 40 kilowatts. 1996 HSV GTS-R. The GTS-R was Holden Special Vehicles' answer to Ford's Windsor V8-powered 1994 Falcon XR8, and it claimed both the 1995 and 1996 Bathurst 1000. Just 85 of these road-going versions were built to celebrate the car's victories. It came fitted with a 215 kilowatts, cast-iron, 5.7-litre V8 with a Harrop stroker camshaft, Tremec T56 6-speed transmission and a Hydrotrack limited slip differential. The GTS-R was available only in this bright yellow paint, and that giant wing on the boot was standard equipment as well. 2006 Holden Commodore SSV. This particular model marked a 10-year record for the Commodore moniker as Australia's best-selling badge. The SSV came equipped with a 6-litre V8 that sent 270 kilowatts and 530 newton meters of torque to the rear wheels, through a 6-speed manual or optional automatic transmission. This car was praised by many publications for being an accessible performance car, but also criticized for featuring somewhat of a cheap persona. Nevertheless, it satisfied many a muscle car enthusiast. (2008) FPV Super Pursuit. Just short of 10 years ago we saw what would be the beginning of the end of this industry, the final Ute from Ford. This direct ancestor of the Ranchero made use of a 5.4-litre Boss V8, pushing 315 kilowatts and 551 newton meters of torque to the rear wheels via a 6-speed manual. It also featured a set of Brembo brakes for extra stopping power. The perfect tool for caravanning in the outback. (2009) HSV W427. Based on the Commodore, the W427 turned heads thanks to the implementation of a Walkinshaw supercharged 7-litre V8 that churned out a massive 375 kilowatts and 640 newton meters of torque. Seeing that the engine was sourced from the Corvette, many dubbed this a supercar with 4 doors. To compensate for this extra power, a new clutch, gearbox, differential and exhaust had to be fitted. Only 427 of these models were produced. 2017 HSV GTS-R. All good things come to an end. As far as we know it, the HSV GTS-R, built on the Zeta platform, is the last Australian muscle car to use this iconic badge. With an active magnetic suspension, massive AP racing ventilated brake discs and a 6.2-litre V8 thumping out a whopping 425 kilowatts, or 474 kilowatts for the W1 edition, this model goes to show how far this segment has come. HSV claims that this is the best performance car ever to have been produced by an Australian manufacturer, and will most likely be the best we shall ever see.